It's one of those kind of things where it's so dependent on what's going on. So if your baby latches right from the beginning, nursing well, like your baby did a lot of clusters to drive your milk supply, etc., and the baby's gaining weight, well, you shouldn't have to pump. So we would then suggest to that particular mother that she begin pumping when she wants to give a bottle, but somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks, because if you wait too long, some babies will not take a bottle. And the partner often really wants to be involved. So we would say, if you could give breastfeeding on the breast about 2 weeks so the baby really establishes supply and has that system down before you introduce a bottle, then start pumping somewhere close to the end of the first week to begin to play with your pump and see how it works so that you have a bottle by 2 weeks to let your partner enjoy doing that. But to the mother whose baby isn't latching or is separated from her in the NICU, she needs to start pumping day one within the first 6 to 8 hours after birth and be fastidious with her pumping at least every 2 to 3 hours around the clock. Because again, I can't say this enough, it's the removal of milk that drives milk supply. If we're not doing that, we're not going to have a good supply. And then we have mothers with low supply who are nursing, but they're pumping after every breastfeeding. A real important, we don't like to have rules, but a little bit of a rule in breastfeeding is if your baby is being supplemented, you have to pump, otherwise the milk cannot come up, it'll go down. So when a baby nurses, let's say for conversation purposes, they take 1.5 ounces, and then you give the baby another 1.5 ounces by bottle of formula, and you don't pump, the body's only going to make that 1.5 ounces. So that's a piece that a lot of moms just don't hear and don't know, and then they're really in trouble with a low milk supply. So, and then there's the mothers that have huge supply, and they're only pumping every other day when their partner's giving a bottle because their milk goes too high if they do that otherwise. And the mother who's going to go back to work is pumping enough for her partner to give a bottle we want bottles at least every 3 days, and not more than once a day. But so her partner can give the bottle and she can store a bit every day. So it's just different things for different strokes for different folks depending. So we would say, again, for the mother who's not able to put her baby to breast for whatever reason, she starts immediately. And for the rest of us, depending on the circumstance, and for all of us, somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks if we want to give our baby a bottle. There's quite a few reasons, and it has a name now. It's called EP-ing, exclusively pumping. So some women do it because they can't get their babies to latch. Some women just like it better because it's more convenient to them. Some women like to know what their babies are getting. I don't know what the percent of EPers are. I bet it's like 5 to 10, somewhere in that range. So there's a variety of reasons why. I have a woman in my support group right now doing it because her baby is tongue-tied, which did not get fixed, and baby could not remove milk properly from the breast and was losing weight, so she went to EPing. Now she's got the baby back a little bit, but I would say 90% EPing. Another one whose baby never latched effectively. So those kinds of things lead women into that space. And they might try both for a while, and finally they just go, you know what, not working. And I'm going to make sure my baby has that breast milk anyway. So boy, we give them, this is standing ovation in support group online. Even in class, they can't all stand up, but they get a lot of this for doing that, or hats off to you because it's tough. So both you're pumping and you're feeding. Where breastfeeding, you're just feeding. So exclusive pumping is tricky, but for some women, it's an answer, and we support them fully.